When Paul Biya went and declared his war against us, he thought we were cowards. We will look at a gun and drop, but it did not happen. So now, Pa, it did not happen. But now he's passed a decree that people should disarm. Tell me something about it. I mean, he tried to kill us when we didn't have guns, and then we will have guns and we're shooting back effectively. Then he passed a decree that we should disarm. Tell me about what you think about the Disarmament Commission.
Well, it is that same mentality that you described earlier, where it is the top giving instructions to the people on what to do. He has not understood that we are not people that think like that. He can tell his French Republic citizens that, you are going to eat bread and sardine today, or whatever you are going to drink. But you can't come and tell us what you did not give us those arms. In any conflict, when people have picked out arms, if you look at what is happening in Yemen now, as we speak, there are the Yemeni rebels and the government, the Hutu government, in Switzerland, talking to each other, right? Trying to find a common ground on how they can end the conflict. Nobody sat there and signed a decree telling those people that they should drop their arms or forming some kind of a commission. Who did they consult? So they think, and we should understand, and I think maybe we'll come to this in a little bit. All of our people need to understand that whatever this guy is doing, he is doing to address what the international community is saying. Yes. Those are all games. The money that he went out and collected from people, and people donated that they were going to go provide subsistence, food and things like that to the people of the southern Cameroons. We have never seen that money. He created a commission this commission was organization that was supposed to manage the affairs of the internally displaced people. None of that money we have not seen that money. So everything that he does is to address the pressure that is coming to him from the international community. It is not solving the problem, because if he wanted to solve the problem, he would have released everybody that he has captured and detained in his dungeons, and then say, okay, my people, how do we get to talk? What do we need to do to end this conflict? No, he goes and sits in Switzerland and signs a paper and then gives it to CITV to read, and then they think that people are going to respond to that. No, we have gone past that stage where we take orders from them. At this point, you people will determine what happens to you as a people, not some presidential decree that somebody signed somewhere, or something that somebody sits in 10 Downing Street or in New York or anywhere and read out to you. You are going to determine what happens to that piece of land that God gave you.
Yes, you said something which is so important. Everything that Paul Biya does, he is addressing the international community. I used to listen to his New Year or whatever speeches that he gives every year. Those things never made sense to me. And a friend of mine called me and said, he is not addressing the people of La Republique. He is addressing the international community, because those are the people sponsoring him. Those are the people determining what happens or doesn't happen in the place. Those are the people who have interest that he's put there to protect. And so all the speeches that he makes, those speeches are made to the international audience. And so if you go and read Paul Biya's speech, you as a local person, you will not make sense of what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
so the disarmament thing, obviously we haven't come to the Security Council and seen what is going on there. Then we know that he's again addressing, he's again responding to the international community. And if he was really responding to the international community by actually doing something that affects the people on the ground, he will actually gain some points.
Mm-hmm.
But he is not doing that. What he is doing is that he comes and fakes. If you look at pictures that they take and put online that, we're causing disarmament, You have people holding a bullhorn in the middle of nowhere, and I'm thinking, if you know where the Amber Boys are, to go and talk to them with a bullhorn, why don't you just go and kill them like you've been wanting to kill them for a long time? So you can see that those are staged pictures that are meant to, again, lie to the international community, and the international community would acquiesce to it because the international community puts him there. And we'll talk more about this when we actually come to looking at what was discussed at the UN Security Council, because it was all fluff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and remember that
so it's a smoke screen.
There is money to be made. Every time that you look at these people and their actions, you always have to have how they benefit from it in the back of your mind. So there is money to be made. So the woman that they call a pastor, who was going around in I don't know where in Kumba with the Diu Mundemba or something like that, that you will see the budget that has been allocated to those things and how much they have put in their pockets, like the money they collected from people and all organizations that were going to go help people, help internally displaced people. You have not seen where that money has gone. So it is always an opportunity for them to steal, to get money and fill their pockets. They are not doing anything to address what the problem is. So the Disarmament Commission, nobody is disarming. They did not give us arms.
Yeah.
We took the arms from them, and we are not going to give those arms away.
Yes, but let me just come back to the fraud again, okay? So they have this picture where they have this woman in red, and she's part of this disarmament. And I look at this thing, I'm like, oh my God. If you want to tell a lie, the French have always said, pick the most stupid among them, empower them, and that's how you make the place to be ruled by stupidity. And so if even if you wanted to lie, I think you come up with a better lie than have 4 soldiers or a handful of soldiers and one woman and then a bullhorn, and then you take pictures and post out there. I mean, come on.
Yeah, what would be the incentive for our boys to disarm? For what benefit? What would be the incentive for them to disarm when there are people calling you to disarm and they are walking around with all kinds of guns waiting to kill you? What would be the incentive for them to disarm? There is no incentive.
No.
So because they don't take time to think about what they want to do, but they want to rush to show the international community that they are doing. So they orchestrate this kind of nonsense,
yes,
and they put it out there, and we just have to call it for what it is.
Yes,
a sham.
Absolutely. Let me just say one last thing about this armament. I don't think Ambazonia should ever again be without its own arms. Because when Paul Biya went and said, we declare war on us, he knew we didn't have arms, right? Mm-hmm. So he put he put 3 or 4 buses and sent to Manfred to go and terrorize the people. Obviously, he went and met something else, and we should never ever go back again from that. And I want to connect this with the American Second Amendment, where citizens should be allowed to have their own arms in order to fight back a cohesive government.
Yeah, and it is important that we understand that disarmament that they are talking about, because the stories I'm hearing from the people that they have released from their dungeons, they say they released them, as they said, because they did not take up arms against the government. So according to them, they believed wholeheartedly that they have to keep killing us and we don't have to do anything about it. They can kill us on the 22nd of September 2017, 1st of October, and on and on and on up till today. You can look at the killings we saw Swividim before anybody picked up arms. We saw Swividim, his head was blown off his head.
Yes.
And you saw the mother holding the child and looking into his eyes and crying that, what have I done to these people that they would blow the head of my son off? Why? Because they went to steal from those people And that child had the audacity to go out and call them out and talk to the villagers. They shot him. So they want that they should go around killing our people like that. And we should not respond. We should be just a docile people, just be like a cow that is going to the slab to be slaughtered without any resistance. And we have said no. We have said we've had enough of that. We have lost enough people. And this time around, they have pushed us to the wall, and we have no other way to go but to fight back.
Yes, I think since you want to go back and say how we became armed, you should know that this present uprising started in 2016. They killed us on Commercial Avenue. You saw a lot of the kids who were killed there. I mean, you even went back to, you talked about John Frundi's 6 dead. They were more than 6 if you want to count after that. So they've always come into our land and killed people and left, and we never armed. Recently, in this last uprising, they killed us on Commercial Avenue. We did not arm ourselves. They killed us on September 22nd, 2017. We did not arm ourselves. They murdered a lot of people on October 1. We did not arm ourselves. Because it's never been part of our thinking. You know, the British never armed us before they left. They lied to us. They said we're expendable. And so they never gave us an ability to protect ourselves. And so we've never been a warrior people. No, we've always been a warrior people as tribes. But as a nation, we never came together and built an army. And I think Bobby Joa tried and they stopped him and got rid of him. But we've never armed. But right now, I think that changes. People, the British came, used Nigerians. Nigerians came and treated us like pieces of shit in our land. When they left, they brought La Republic, they treated us like a piece of shit in our land. I think that stops. I think what the youth did in this particular uprising was move us to the next stage. And we should never again lose our self-defense.